review. Totally a review. You guys have done this over and over again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to review a few terms that you should already know, and then you're going to have some sample problems you're going to do on the expressions, and that's going to be it for today. So first of all, absolute value. Whenever you hear the word absolute value, you should automatically think distance from 0. Now when you learned about absolute value first, okay, what were you always told to do with absolute value? You remember that? There were those two vertical lines. What were you always told to do with absolute value? Like this. They'd have like this. Or you'd have like this. What did they always tell you to do? When you were finding the answer? What did they tell you your answer always was? Positive, right? Okay, the reason why it's always positive is because absolute value means distance. So whenever you think about distance, you can never have a negative distance. Okay. I suppose in football you can, okay, but when you drive your car, you can never go a negative distance. You always go a positive distance. You can never roll miles off of your odometer by going backwards. Okay, now on the old cars you can, okay, trust me, like in the lower 80s you can roll the miles off, but in the newer cars you can't, and so distance is always positive. So opposites, that is a positive integer paired with its negative. So an example of opposite would be 5, negative 5. Okay? Another opposite would be 3, negative 3. Okay? And then additive inverse, a number and its opposite. So basically, opposites and additive inverses are pretty much the same thing. What would be the additive inverse of negative 2? What would be the additive inverse of negative 2? Positive 2. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to look at just adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our first example. Okay, here you go. First one. What I'm going to do is I'm sending this now to your expression. What you need to do is just go ahead and type in the answer. Okay, what is the answer? Negative 3 plus negative 4. A, B, C, or D? Okay. All right, the answer is negative 7. Good. Okay, the reason why it's negative 7 is you're adding two negatives. So it's kind of like adding them on the number line. Okay, you start at negative 3 and then you add a negative 4. All right, let's look at this one. Negative 15 plus 4. And if you need to use the number line that you used to use in middle school, that's fine as well. Okay, but negative 15 plus positive 4. What does that equal? There you go. Good. Negative 11. Nice job. All right, let's look at the next one. 18 minus 23. So you start with 18 and you take away 23. Okay, negative 5. Nice job. The reason why it's negative is because 23 is bigger. Oops, sorry. 23 is bigger than 18. So you think about it, if you have $18 and you give away 23 of that, you're going to be in the hole. You're going to owe $5 extra. Okay, let's look at this one. Negative 62 plus negative 14. Negative 62 plus negative 14. Answer is negative 76. Nice job. Questions, by the way? Kind of remembering this from last year, from the years before? All right, now this one's different. What's the operation between these two? Times, right? It's multiplication. So let's go ahead and look at this. Negative 3 times negative 4. What is negative 3 times negative 4? So, what we got. All right, so let's think about that. So obviously we have the 12, so that's good. We have the 3 times the 4 right. Now what we got to do is get straight on those signs. Okay? If the signs are the same, your answer will be positive. And you can think about it this way. These two negatives will make a positive when you multiply them. So the answer here should have been positive 12 because the two negatives make a positive. Now when you multiply and the signs are opposite, your answer is always negative. Okay? All right, same thing with division too. Remember what I just said there. 48 divided by negative 6. What is your answer there? What is 48 divided by negative 6? (48) divided by negative 6. Answer is negative 8. So once again, remember what I said. If the signs are opposite and you're multiplying or dividing, your answer will be negative. So same signs is positive, different signs is negative. All right, let's try this one. Okay, negative 81 divided by negative 9. So, negative 81 divided by negative 9. Answer is positive 9. Nice job, because the signs are the same. Okay, last one. We've got a word problem here we're going to look at. This is number 23 from your book right now. Okay, it says Talia is working on a monthly budget. Her monthly income is $500. She has allocated $200 for savings, $100 for vehicle expenses, and $75 for clothing. How much is available to spend on entertainment? So how do I solve this?
How do you add them up?
Okay.
And subtract them from
You add what up?
the 200, 175.
Okay. You add up what you've already spent or what you have budgeted or allocated for. And this is what I have allocated. 200 for savings, 100 for vehicle, 75 for clothing. So I'm going to add all three of those together. So I've got 200, I've got 100, and I'm going to add 75 to that. What does that total up to be? Yep, 375. So I've got allocated in my budget $375. Well, I have a total of how much? 500. So how do I find what's left to spend on entertainment? Right, I'm going to take 500 right here, and I'm going to subtract 375. So in order to do that, I'm going to obviously have to borrow. Okay, so I'm going to change that to a 4, change that to 9, and then I get 10 minus 5, which is 5, 9 minus 7, and 4 minus 3. So how much is left on entertainment? $125. Make sure you label. Okay, got to have the dollars. Okay, pretty straightforward today. Any questions? Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. All right, this is what I need you to do on page P12. I need you to do 1 through 22, and this is due at the start of class tomorrow.